How's it going, guys? Thomas Draven back again for another video, and in this one we're doing something pretty different compared to the rest of the content on my channel. We're actually interviewing a friend of mine, my friend Matt. I just wanted to start doing this series where I kind of like explore other musicians, like sort of rigs and setups and stuff like that. Kind of similar in some capacity to like say a rig rundown. But more highlighting like people that I meet through like Facebook and Instagram, and also the people that are local to me in the Richmond music scene. I just wanted to sort of be able to kind of show a spotlight on people who have really cool gear and make really cool music. And yeah, so I did an interview today with him, showing off three of his like main guitars, as well as some of his other guitars as well. So I hope you guys do enjoy it. I know it's a bit longer of a video, so if you guys stick around through it, I think that you will not be disappointed. My man Matt has some really crazy guitars, really beautiful instruments. So I hope you guys stick through. And yeah, so I will let you sit back and enjoy the interview. Peace. So let's get it rolling, my friend. Do you want to share your name for the class?
Yeah, man. So I'm Matt Murphy, and I play guitar.
All right, man. So tell me some stuff about you and sort of how you sort of got started in playing guitar and some of the bands that sort of inspired you to first pick up the instrument.
Okay. Well, so I've been playing guitar. Gosh, I'm 28, so I've been playing guitar for 18 years. I started when I was like 10 years old, and I got a crappy, like one of those like Chinese basses on eBay, and it was a piece of crap, and I loved that thing. I learned on that, and I remember some of my first songs were Slipknot songs that I was able to like play proficiently. Self-titled album, Iowa, that kind of stuff. I was like super obsessed with them growing up. And yeah, I've played in like local metal bands in the New England area for quite a long time, just shy of 10 years. I then ended up taking a hiatus for professional reasons, like trying to finish up school. And I'm a paramedic, and I was going through paramedic education, which is extremely demanding. And I ended up moving cross country to Louisville, Kentucky for about 3 years. And I just last week relocated to North Brunswick, New Jersey. So
you went from some New England to Kentucky and now back up towards Jersey. So
yeah,
kind of almost a big circle.
It's all over the place. I'm trying to slowly make my way home. My lovely fiance is a newly minted doctor, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, she went to medical school in Louisville, Kentucky, which she just graduated from like a month ago. So congratulations, Rachel, if you're watching.
Yeah, seriously, congratulations.
Yeah, she's absolutely brilliant. She makes me look like an idiot. But yeah, so she graduated from there, and she just got a residency in North Brunswick, New Jersey. So that's why I'm here now.
Yeah, awesome. And you looking to get into the New Brunswick sort of metal scene, start to maybe kick something up again?
Yeah. I'm talking with a few different people right now, mostly vocalists, because bassists and drummers are like the most elusive of all exotic animals in the world.
Well, I mean, at this point, you have a MacBook Pro, you pretty much have all the periphery.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Like I've got a contact, so I don't really need any other members at that point, do I?
Who needs anybody? No, right, man.
Exactly.
All right, man. So let's talk some guitars.
Yeah. So I am an avid guitar collector, much to my fiance's dismay. I slimmed down my collection pretty substantially for this last move. I went from 13 to 7, I think 7 or 8 or so.
Okay.
But it really was like a voted off the island sort of situation. I really tried to make educated decisions as to which tools I wanted to keep in my repertoire, so to speak. And I have my mains out right now, right here. I'm just gonna move the camera, I'll show you. Those are on display. So if I ever need to like record, or I feel inspired, or I just want to look at them because they're amazing. They're right there. And I'm only going to talk about a few of them today, but the ones that I have out, I have a Legator Ghost 8-string, and this thing is a ripper. It's a total workhorse, and it's kind of my go-to if I am just like practicing scales, or if I needed to play like an 8-string live or something like that. I would probably use this guy. I have my white whale, so to speak. I have a Skirvison Shoggy 8-string as well. It's one of the guitars I'll talk about today. This is I want to be buried with this. Like this thing is amazing in every single way. But yeah, that's that was my Skirvison, and that is probably the best guitar I've ever played in my life, let alone had the immense honor of owning.
Mm-hmm.
I just recently acquired this after selling, like 6 or 7 guitars to trade it in up to this. This is a Mayonnaise Duvel Master Builders Collection, 7-string guitar. This is one of the guitars I'm talking about today. I'm still getting kind of comfortable with this guitar. It is a lot of guitar for the moment. Like it probably, I would say, on par with the Skirvison. In terms of quality and playability. It is definitely different, but I'll get to that later.
Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah, that thing's crazy. I have this Legator Ninja 8-string back from the sketchy days of Legator, where you'd either get like a lemon or something that was absolutely incredible. And funny story with this, I actually had a lemon from Legator. I reached out to them, and they took pretty good care of me, honestly, contrary to what the previous experiences of other popular YouTubers like Arnold Plays Guitar and many others had with this company. They sent this one to me after I had sent the other one back, and they upgraded me to locking tuners. They're just proprietary, but they do the job like locking tuners would. I gutted the pickups out, and I put bare knuckle juggernauts in it. And the thing rips. I play it live when I get the chance to play 8-strings. Normally, this is kind of my go-to before I had the other Legator, but it still sounds great. I use it for clean tones all the time.
Hell yeah.
Let's see. And then my last one of the ones that I'm going to talk about today, is an Ormsby Hype GTR 8-string in what's called high alert yellow. It is the most obnoxious yellow I have ever seen in my entire life. I totally love it. It kind of reminds me of Andrew Baina's Aristides.
I was about to say that's some bright yellow right there, man.
It's very, very loud.
I was about to say that's like the kind of thing that no matter how dark it is in your house at night, you will never like accidentally bump into that and knock it off the stand.
Exactly. It's like highlighter yellow.
Oh yeah.
But that thing is a monster, and I can't say enough positive things about Ormsby guitars and their quality of their instruments. It's absolutely top tier.
Well, I mean, if you want to go into just the 3 that you want to talk about today,
Sure.
We can start breaking those down and, give us a bit more detail about what they're all about.
Yeah, definitely. Full disclosure, I'm reading off of spec sheets because I have a really crappy memory. And if I get anything wrong, please don't destroy the internet. Let's see. So I'll start out with the Skirvison because it is, in my opinion, like the apex of my collection. It's just absolutely wonderful in every way.
Okay.
So it is, I believe, a 26 to 28 inch scale length fan fret design. Stainless steel frets, I believe lumen lay dots, maybe. Yep. It has Fishman Abasi pickups in it.
Hell yeah, my
the
favorite.
Abasi 8 set. Yeah, they're fantastic. I have a toggle switch that would work like a conventional three-way knob or three-way toggle switch. And then I have 3 separate voices, and I would butcher which, the names of them or what they do. They just, each of them sounds better than the next. So single volume knob, very easy. ABM individual bridge saddles, which are like the absolute dopeness. They're a little difficult to get the strings in, but once you get them in, the stability is worth the pain of restringing it. Headless design, like I said, and just gold hardware at the top that matches it with the truss rod exposed right there. I don't know that Groove Gear fret wraps really necessarily do anything on a headless guitar, but I mean they make sweeping and recording and the noodlies.
They're definitely good to have.
Cleaner.
Yeah, they're definitely good to have on hand, but whether or not they actually like mute any excess string noise behind the nut is like
right. It's a gray area. Not any of us are really sure.
It's like on some of my guitars, the amount of like string between the nut and the like locker is about an inch or so. So it's like
right.
Whatever overtones are probably way outside our comprehension,
yeah, we probably can't hear any of it anyway, but I'm sure that guitarists will find a way to argue about it on the internet.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, the top wood is a flame maple. It is purple, as you can see, and it kind of fades to this black, where it's a little bit harder to discern the flame on it, but if you look really closely, you can see it. With like a little bit of like a gloss on top, which I'm not normally a fan of gloss on instruments unless it's done extremely well, and Skirvison has exceeded any expectation that I could have previously set. It is a black limba body, and the figuring on the back of this is gnarly.
That is crazy.
Yep. Wow. Bolt-on construction, which I'm a big fan of. I know a lot of people like neck fruit instruments, but I like bolt-on, like whatever. Wenge and Babinga, I don't know which one the stripes are. I would imagine that the Babinga is probably the lighter and the Wenge is probably darker, but I don't really know tone wood that well either. So, yep, 5-piece neck construction, very solid. The neck profile on it is very unique. It's hand sanded, to my understanding, and the profile down here when you're doing like the chuggly chugs is very much so like I would call it like a C shape almost. Just kind of feeling it. It's almost similar to like the Strandberg necks, like the Endure necks profile. I think that's the name of it.
Right.
In the sense that it's very like baseball batty down here, but as you travel up the neck, it's asymmetrical and it becomes more of like a D shape almost. In the sense that it's an asymmetrical D shape, though. It's like very aggressively cut down here. And it's a little bit rounder up here. So you have a place where your thumb wants to naturally rest while you do your runs and stuff like that. I think it's probably the most comfortable neck profile I've ever touched. Yeah, I'm a huge fan. It's fantastic.
And really quick, what tuning and string gauges do you typically go for on this guitar?
Oh, Jesus, I make a tuning up. So I tune my 8 strings. I'm going to trigger some people. I tune my 8 strings like a 7 string, and in the sense that I have like these first 6 strings are, I think of it as E standard, and then this will be the 7th string, which would be like a drop A. And then the 8th string is another E. So it's like E standard, E, A, D, G, B, E, A, E. And that's kind of that's the formula that I follow with all of my 8 strings, as far as, how am I going to tune them and stuff like that. So I'll just drop that a half step for a different guitar. So that's that. The string gauges, I'm so sorry. The string gauges are 9 to 80.
Okay.
9 to 80.
All right. So like
Yeah.
relatively kind of standard sort of 8-string gauge.
Yeah, I'm pretty milquetoast, man. I'm born.
Milk and toast. I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's tried and true, man. Other people, it's good enough for other people, it's good enough for me.
All right, man. What's up next?
Yeah, well, I have this mayonnaise here that I had mentioned earlier. The mayonnaise Duvel Master Builders Collection 7-string. And I just got this literally the day after I moved into this new place in North Brunswick. And I haven't owned a 7-string in years, simply because I just feel more comfortable on 6 strings or 8 strings. So there are 2 of my 8 strings, like 7 strings. So it kind of seemed redundant for me to get a 7-string, lose the ability to have a low string, and just kind of omit that ability, because I tune my 6-string guitars, like a standard guitar, or a drop D guitar, drop C, drop D, whatever. So it didn't really make sense for me to have a 7-string. And then I saw this and I was like, well, I mean, fuck that. Like, this thing is sick. And I got it for a very, very fair price. So
just looking at that top, I mean, that's not only just the figuring is just amazing, but that's one piece, right?
Yeah. Well, the top is one piece. It is, and it's an actual top. It's like nice and thick.
Yeah, that's such a meaty slab too.
Yeah, it's I believe it's one of their 5A tops or whatever they call it. Again, Tonewood people are gonna probably hate me, but this is one of their like master grade tops.
I believe
it. And it's matched on the top as well. So it's probably the same wood there, and it is just striking, isn't the word. I mean, it's gorgeous, man. I've never had quite a figured Buckeye burl guitar in my hands like this,
Yeah, I mean, I just looking at that, I mean, I'm not even a huge fan of like natural finishes, but I feel like it would almost be a disservice to like put any coloring or any like stains or dyes on a piece of wood that is just so naturally like beautiful.
Sure. Yeah. And I've seen some people do some cool stuff with like fades and stuff like that. Like Rabia Masad did I believe he like custom built a Duvel maybe, but he had done a top similar to this Buckeye Burl, and he'd done a like black fade around.
Yeah, it was like some kind of like black burst or something like that, where it was just dark around the edges and then natural in the center. Yeah,
that's probably the better word or the word that I'm looking for, really. I mean, like, you can do some stuff with it, but I mean, this just looks great. It is sacrilege, I guess, to do anything like that to something this nice.
I mean, Skirvison and Mayonnaise are just kind of like some of those be-all, end-all guitar brands where it's like, if you buy one of these, it is unlikely that you would ever like need something more than that.
Yeah, honestly, like the quality, it just feels like, I mean, like I love my Legators, despite what some people have to say about them. And I loved Ibanez when I owned Ibanez. I mean, I played plenty of Agiles. Now I met you. I mean, I played your Agile 10-string. And while they are well-constructed guitars, these just feel like they have a lot of love that went into their construction. It just feels like somebody took a lot of time out of their day to make something like this. And, it's hard not to appreciate it when you're playing. You can definitely feel the notes sort of leaping off the fretboard when you're playing it. And it just feels comfortable. There's no rough fret ends at all. Yeah, it's just I again can't say enough good things about the people in mayonnaise. You know, they're fantastic at their craft.
Any notable specs? Anything like particularly unique?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a hip shot bridge and I've got hip shot locking tuners, which is probably not unique, but they are. I mean, they do the job, man. This thing is, it stays in tune. Granted, I've only had it for a few days, but I've changed the tuning on it a couple times because I'm just not exactly sure what tuning I want to put it in. Right now, it's sitting in A flat, drop A flat. With I used an Ernie Ball 8-string slinky set, but I just ditched the 8th string, so it would be 10 through 64. Lumen lay side dots, they're the green ones, and I just noticed that they had that like maybe 3 minutes before we started this video. So I was like, oh, my light's not on. Oh, cool, that glows in the dark. It has a unique, actually. This is probably the most unique thing about it. So it has a Babinga knob with a Wenge dome. You know, it's again, like it just feels like somebody actually gave a shit when they made this instrument, you know, Sentient Nazgul. They definitely do the job, man. I've never owned this set, and that wasn't by, you know, trying to avoid them or anything like that. It was just more so I never got my hands on them, but I've been using them for probably put about an hour of playtime into this so far, and they rip.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, they scream. I might want to adjust the pickup height a little bit because the sustain isn't quite where I'd like it to be. My gates kind of fight it a little bit, but that, you know, wouldn't take long. It's 25.4 inch scale length, so not the longest scale length in the world, you know, relative to my other guitars. But I mean, it plays super nice. It feels a little compact compared to the other guitars that I normally play, but that's probably because I'm playing 8 strings most of the time. But yeah, I mean, this thing's great. It's easy to noodle on. It's you know, it feels comfortable. It's an ebony board. I didn't even mention before, the Skirvison is an ebony board as well. Yeah, big fan of ebony. That's definitely the way to go, in my opinion. Stainless steel frets, jumbo. Yeah, I think that is it. Oh, I've got I think a Wenge and a Purple Heart neck and a Babinga body. I'm gonna butcher that. Hang on. Someone's gonna tell me I'm dumb.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is on the internet. That's why like so many of my videos are just like me having to like read directly off a spec sheet just so like some jackass on the internet isn't like, that's actually like swamp ash, not like solid ash. And I'm like, it's
right.
Okay, so, maybe it's bog ash, maybe it's like trailer park ash.
You're right. Actually, they let this sit in the vice grip for 6 months and 6 months and 3 days. So get your facts straight.
Yeah, like no, it doesn't. They don't let the lacquer cure for 72 days. It's actually like 71.75.
Right. Like if it's not a full moon, it can't come out. If it's not a full moon, it can't come out. Yeah.
They actually only roast their maple using a solar eclipse. Like check your facts, idiot.
Exactly. Yeah. So it is a bolted 5-piece Wenge heart neck with an ebony fingerboard, as I had mentioned previously. And the body, it's mahogany. I apologize.
Yeah, that's beautiful grain on the mahogany too. I mean,
it's very well figured.
The great thing about like Skirvison and Mayonnaise as well, just like both brands, they put so much like care and like passion into their wood selection that like even if it was totally reversed and you would like see the back of the guitar most of the time, that's still like a gorgeous piece.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's the thing. That was what initially it attracted me to, these Polish guitar companies, is that I thought it was the craziest thing that they let their guitars sit in those vice grips to glue the top and marry the top to the actual body for like 6 months or a year or something like that. I don't know the exact time length off the top of my head, but I remember watching like don't know if it was like the Gear Gods, you know, like walkthrough video of either one of their companies. But I remember Skirvison specifically does that. And I was like, man, that is so cool. But I mean, dude, I don't have the patience to order a custom guitar. You're right, a custom guitar through them.
Like, come on, guys, it's just tight bond. Like, you don't use it for like 3. Like, I'm sure,
Right.
you know, I use tight bond all the time. It's like good in 24 hours. Just like, let's.
Yeah, just like Gorilla Glue that shit. But yeah, no, that all jokes aside, that was probably one of the more attractive qualities to me is like, man, this thing has to be like an incredible instrument if they put that much time and effort into one guitar, you know, each. So,
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, getting one from the shop now that I actually like own a couple of these, getting one from either of their shop, you know, as like a custom build or something like that would probably be easier because I have something to like, you know, sate my appetite in the meantime.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so this thing is fantastic. All right. And the last one that I'm going to talk about is my Ormsby Hype GTR 8-string multi-scale guitar.
Every single time you pull it out, that fan just looks crazier and crazier.
It is, dude. It is probably the most aggressive fan that I have. I'm sure that there's probably crazier ones out there, but it's a 25.5 to a 28.3 inch fan. So it's, I mean, once you get down to like the lower registers and stuff, it's kind of tough to kind of navigate and propriocept where you are on the instrument. But I mean, like with any other, you know, extended range multi-scale instrument, it just takes a few seconds to just get used to it. And, you know, I would, if I were playing a show with this, for example, I'd probably only warm up with this guitar for that day, just for that reason. So I could be, you know, used to the scale length and comfortable
the hand,
you know, using it.
Get the hand nice and stretched out.
Yeah, exactly. Like
yeah, well, it's like that like internet trend of like guitarists are evolving. Like my left pinky goes so much farther out than my right. Yeah,
right. Exactly. Yeah,
it's because I play fan fret guitars.
Right. Exactly. Master stuff there, man. So this is a swamp ash body with I believe a rock maple neck. Rock maple laminate, I think is what they describe it as, and an ebony fingerboard. Because ebony fingerboards are the best fingerboards, proven wrong. And the top is also a like matching yellow to the body as well. This whole thing just screams, "Look at me!" Thing is great. It has the proprietary pickups in it. Normally, I'm like, the first thing that I do when I get a new guitar, if I have some sort of proprietary pickup in it, is I'm like, all right, what pickups am I going to put in this? You know, I'm gonna chuck the stocks out because that's, you know, I mean, you know, usually where most builders will, you know, pinch pennies. But Ormsby's pickups are so good. They're the only stock pickups that aren't like, you know, already, you know, like a buffed pickup, so to speak. That I've actually kept in a guitar ever. They are, it's the De La Creme and the Nunchucker. The De La Creme is the bridge and the Nunchucker is the neck. And these things slap. They are so articulate. I'm normally an active pickup kind of guy, despite having 2 guitars now with passive pickups, 3 actually with passive pickups because of the bare knuckles and Legator. But these things are so aggressive. They're probably not the hottest pickups in the world, but they have a lot of articulation. So it probably sounds like I'm digging in a lot harder than I actually am. They also coil tap as well. And the 8-string single coil spanky sound on this is, I mean, that's already like a very discernible and kind of known sound in like the progressive metal world. But these pickups just seem to take it a step farther. Like you pop this on, and I'll like include a sound clip of me using it or something, but it is so angry sounding. Like it just is just so mean and aggressive, and it cleans up super well too. They're not like, you know, pushing the amp super hard or anything like that. When you are running it at full volume, it's still, you know, fairly clean. So yeah, I was a big fan of these pickups for sure. But like I said, the only thing that was a little weird about it was this getting used to the scale length. And after that, I mean, this thing it's rad. I love the input jack placement, like right on the back there.
Oh, that's so interesting. I didn't even notice that earlier.
Yeah. Both this and the Skirvison have recessed input jacks. And I'm going to put this down because I don't want to like take anything. I should have probably mentioned that on the Skirvison. Probably just edit that in there. The input jack is recessed underneath the top there.
That is so cool.
And it's actually, there's a piece of the body, actually, it looks like.
Yeah.
That kind of goes over it like that.
That's so interesting to me. Like, that,
yeah.
Just the care that is taken for the design of these instruments never ceases to amaze. I did have one question about the Ormsby really quick. Have you ever had any issues with like that headstock design? Like, maybe like getting the you know, like the hooked part, or like, you know, where the strings aren't over top of anything. Have you ever like gotten them hooked on anything? Or
I mean, no. I mean, it's been a you know how they call certain trucks like pavement princesses. Like this thing has never left the studio. I wouldn't take those 3 guitars live unless I was doing something that I knew that they were going to be safe, and B, it would have to be a fairly big gig. Like I pretty much reserve my live stuff for my Legators, or if I'm doing 6-string stuff, I have a LTD EC1000 with the Seymour Duncans in it that I'll use. But yeah, no, I haven't really caught the strings on anything. I have probably bumped the headstock around a few times and given myself a heart attack. But because I'm not one of those guys that likes dings on my guitars. They drive me absolutely bananas. I know that it baffles me that people pay money to relic instruments. Like I want to keep it in good shape, man. Like I just don't understand it. I get it. It's, you know, some people think it's cool, but it just gives me anxiety.
Very true.
But yeah, but realistically, I think the functionality of it is to just kill a whale or something like that. Like it looks like a harpoon.
Yeah,
you know?
No, I definitely think that if you have, it's your last ditch effort to like protect yourself during like a home invasion, grab the Ormsby and just javelin
full send. See you later, dude. Yep. No need. I don't even need a gun, man. I just got that.
I mean, you know, if there's ever a reason to get like a guitar endorsement deal, javelining somebody through the chest with it, that's like a brand relationship.
That's a whole untapped market right there, man. You can kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah. Absolutely. And also the guy that broke into your house.
Yes. 3 people, I guess, at that point.
All right. That's so awesome. Similar string gauges and tuning on the Ormsby, is it that a bit?
Yeah. No, it's just 9 through 80 because I'm super boring. Yeah, well, but the scale length allows me to obviously to tune lower. So I tune the Ormsby to, I believe, drop C sharp or drop C, following that tuning that I had described earlier on one of the previous guitars, the Skirvison, I believe. Yeah, so it would be C sharp on the 8th string, and then whatever other notes there are. Like I don't have it memorized or anything.
Just whatever the intervallic relationship between E and C sharp for all of it.
Right. I mean, I have 8 strings, man. I don't play the other 7 strings anyway. So.
Great. Okay.
Yeah. Zeros and
Yeah.
ones, baby. That's it.
I was about to say you spent what, 5K on a guitar and you play 2 notes. Perfect.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Get pissed. I don't care.
Well, all right, man. Shit. This has been really awesome. I think that your guitars are absolutely crazy and your collection is super cool. I mean, we might have to delve into other parts of your rig in a future video because, I've noticed as we were getting set up all the cool amps and stuff you have just around your studio space. So
thanks, dude.
Maybe that'll be something in the future that we can look into. But it's been awesome getting to talk to you. And is there anything you want to plug? Any projects that you're working on? Any solo music that you just want to let people know about?
Yeah, I record with my best friend Joe. We're in a project called Paralysis, and we have one song out right now called an Epitaph. It's on Beheading the Traitor on YouTube. It's probably on Spotify. I think we did like the descriptive thing. I'm terrible at plugging things, but there'll be a link in the description or something, and that way you can go check it out and you can listen to it and hopefully you like it. And if not, then I don't know, listen to something else.
Well, hey man, you're definitely the unapologetic type, and it has been super cool getting to know you over these past few months, and it's always a pleasure, my friend.
Yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. The pleasure is definitely all mine for sure, man. You're a great dude. So, and I love watching your content.
Hell yeah, man. So I will catch you soon, and I got to go get this all edited together and uploaded to the tube.
Cheers, dude.
All right, guys, that was my interview with my buddy Matt, showing off his beautiful instruments. Seriously, just such a cool guy, awesome musician, and has a really, really good taste in gear. If you want to see more videos like this, definitely like, comment, and subscribe. If it's a bit too long-winded, I'll see if we can sort of streamline things in the future. But if you prefer this sort of long-form style of video, especially when we're talking about other people's gear, I can definitely keep it that way. But let me know whether or not you enjoyed this video, and I hope to do this again in the future. And yeah, everyone have a good day. Peace.